All right, I am here, Nostrovini, to make my proclamations of the political situation. Now, as anybody knows, Nostrovini seems to, well, I go put to the right of Sayatella the Hun. My values are very old-fashioned. When I was a young boy in the 1960s, when I was about 9, 8 years old, I would make a hippie GI Joe and have my regular GI Joes beat the hell out of it. Sort of, and that's the way I am. I have radical lefty commie Reds in my family. That's when we used to call them Reds as opposed to Blues, but things change. You have to adapt to the situation, and I don't. I'm a fossil, what you call a fossil. And I'm proud of being a fossil. It's about time fossils had their rights. Now let's see. Here we go. I don't even know what this. Oh yeah. Now this is a story of courage. Now my contemporaries of long ago were the guardian angels. When I had no courage, these young men and women, but mostly young men, would defend us against the hordes of criminality that stalked the New York City subway systems in the late 70s and early 80s. They were a band of brothers defending us against the horde. They were vigilantes, so I would say, but and they're the best compliment of the word. They were unarmed vigilantes, only with their wits and their physical strength of youth were they a match for the criminal element that was New York in the 70s and 80s. Well, let me tell you something. They're back. Not a new generation of heroes, but the old generation. And not only they went to the subway system, risking a broken hip. These are and don't tell me they're because they're having a midlife crisis. Let me tell you, more people should have midlife crises like that. I couldn't show the courage, even if I was a whole man. I couldn't go into the subways. I might get hurt, but they don't care about being hurt. They care about saving the peoples. And they're dealing with a formidable force. The slashers, the crashers, the burners, the chaotic criminals from another land. But yes, it's not enough that we have our own set of menagerie of criminals and malcontents. We're important. We're important, these. And the only thing standing in the way in this New York City is a bunch of vigilantes, a bunch of aged vigilantes. Oh, I saw the picture of Curtis Sewa with his posse, and there couldn't be a man under 45 in that group. What a man, they're gonna save us all. They have little red outfits, little berets. I haven't heard about confrontations between them and the criminal element. But in spite of their CDLE, is they their fearsome reputation of all your that's a long time ago. Oh yeah, they're gonna beat that butt. Now, let me tell you something. Cheat on drugs. Step and slash. This is all about the slashes, the psychos. Some people say, New York, it's a good thing we don't have guns. Oh my God, we should have guns. The people who are, all this that's going on is you're going to have to outlaw God and cutlery. Let me tell you something. A lot of drug addicts know how to handle a machete, apparently. And they get the stabby and they kill a few, four people. If somebody had a gun there, boom, boom, end of story. Man or woman can shoot one of these buggers down. And psychopaths don't tend to be that good with guns. You have to aim. And they're seeing Martians and demons and just being mean. It brings the aim. They don't have the patience to go to a shooting range. Kate on drugs. Kate, they say like she has a regular name. That's our governor. And she's all fine with people killing themselves in the streets, taking drugs. That's the plan. It's everybody who's on drugs, they don't care about the collateral damage to the families of these people. No, no, they're going to just make open market drug dens right in the street and can keep the drug addicts alive for as long as they can until they die. And they will die. And they won't have all the medical. And they have complications in regular life. You do meth and you do heroin, you do crack, and you expect to have a happy old age. Let me tell you something. I'm tired of it. Godly UFOs. Now, this Carter, he just died, and he was saying that the UFOs are basically observing us. They wouldn't come in big ships and say, "Hey, watch yourselves." They would come in little dots, where peasants are. They're actually coming here, and it's like they go into ritual homicides, wild kingdom. That's my theory. Yeah, they're not going to invade and destroy this. The world's humans, intelligent life or halfway intelligent life is very small. It's very shallow. So they just keep an eye so we don't get too ambitious and then we don't blow up the universe. Donnie boy, he's picking a fight with the Danes because he wants Greenland because the commies, and the gangster, the red Chinese, and the Russians are all approaching that frozen tundra that is Greenland that has a lot of strategic attributes. So, but Donald Trump wants to buy it. He wants to buy it outright. There's only about 40,000 Icelanders there, and they could be persuaded to give him a little check, and we're off to the races. But the Danes, they're sort of like, hey, no, don't do that. I have no idea what a Danish accent for tastes like, but they're just saying, hey, we're open to being supported militarily and give contributions for that. In other words, we're going to pay for this. We're not going to get a state out of this. Yeah, but we're being looked. Blazing to burnt wood. Burnt wood is close to Hollywood. They mock God too much. God, he's a patient man. He has a sense of humor. He's not the Christian God I'm talking. Now, Allah, not much of a sense of humor. I mean, he has to make an appearance where he say, hey, no joking about me. He making fun of my appearance, say what I might look like, say what my prophet looks like. You can't even do that. But we know what you're going to do once you do that. That's actually he thought. He talks like an Italian guy. He talks like me about, hey, because you're going to mock me. So, you mock me, I kill everybody. I'll kill a lot. I go berserk. Then people don't do that. They have a little respect. So you have to be a little loco. So we need a little more bloodthirstiness in the Christian religion. It's true. But what do you expect? Our main guy is a pacifist. Well, we turned it around a little bit. Now it's like he shows up when we're gonna be nice. And then the other thing we have, like, it's more the Old Testament God, who's like a hard case. Yeah, this lesbian. She's saying that, because they were saying that the firemen have to be able to carry the victim of the fire. So now she could do a muscularity. She's a big, powerful woman. So she can carry a 160-pound guy, no problem, even maybe 200 pounds. But aerobically, we're not so fit. She looks like she's been on a lesbian diet plan. They have no lesbian diet plan. There's some lesbians who are, sinewy, and this was not sinewy. This is more the bulky type, a real bulk. You know what I'm saying? I say this the most complimentary way. Powerful woman, but she mocked somebody who might have been needed to be carried out of fire. Are you insane, lady? I use the term loosely in terms of lady. Don't let Zach, the guy, Mr. Facebook. He came to the government screaming at him to censor things. He was a part and parcel of one of the biggest censorship things that ever happened, the Hunter Biden desktop. You can't have a corporation, a alliance between the corporations and the government. That is fascism, left-wing fascism in this part of the neighborhood. The vultures loot from the ashes. The homeless may even started the fires, so they could loot them. They got a lot of control because they're not good gauges of moderation, your homies. Don't let turn the terror loose. Joe turns the terror. Oh, Joe. Oh, Mr. Biden. He's letting all the criminals out of Guantanamo. Even though 30% go back to their criminal ways. And I mean, when I say criminal, I mean terrorism. Terrorism, my friend. Braggs, Bash, and Bert and BQ. You know what happened? A landlord was attacked by a homeless man with a weapon. You know what Bragg did? That overweight bastard. And you say, you're overweight too. I'm not a bastard. This guy prosecutes the landlord who was defending himself against this homeless bastard who's a psychopath who goes around attacking people. Just because you have no home don't make you a saint. It just means you have no home. And the reason why you don't have a home most likely is because you're a bastard. So, but Bragg and all this who were hired by Soros or bankrolled are socialist communists who don't agree that capitalism should exist. They want to feed off the teat of capitalism, but they don't want to, do their thing. Oh, this is another thing. Those brave souls on January 6th who rebelled against the Biden dictatorship and knew a sham election when it happened, well, they're going to be let go in a mass pardon. And the Democrats who tried to make this thing as big as a civil war, which it was a riot. It was a riot. The Reds, the Blues, or whatever the hell the progressives want to call themselves this year, were rioting all over the place. And the Republicans were taking it, taking it, taking. Finally had too much. And when Biden rigged the game against them, they had a little bit of a altercation. And they did the right thing. Sometimes when your government's real, now I couldn't do it. Some I don't aerobically can do it, and I can't walk that well. If I could do it, I'd be climbing up there, getting a heart attack, just like that. Okay, this is it. I'm going away. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna sign off. Oh, my sciatic is off, God. I don't look that good. I was gonna say you don't look that bad, but you don't look that good. Let me tell you something. I look like I feel. And I gotta get rid of this, and I'll be busy.